We are live, baby.
Uh-oh. Lost coach.
He'll be back. But hopefully BJ gets better.
Yep.
But basically, whenever coach come back, we'll go ahead and start going over this recap of UFC 281. Man, that was a crazy card.
Yeah, it was one of the better cards this year. I'd have to say that's one of the better cards this year.
Bro, there's been so many upsets this year. It's crazy.
I was just thinking the other day with like Kamara, he got finished in the 5th round, dominated the whole fight.
The same way with the motivational speech. It's like,
but
just come out and go crazy.
And then that one dude with the ponytail.
Oh, Yuri?
Yeah, he beat that dude in the 5th round, and he lost pretty much that whole fight.
He beat Glover in the 5th, yep.
Yeah, that's like 3 fights like that this whole year.
Yeah, it's been a crazy
get your ghetto ass internet together.
What's up?
Get your ghetto ass internet together, kicking me off. As soon as you started it, your ghetto ass shit was like.
Start tweaking out. Oh yeah, so I guess first thing we can just go ahead and start off by saying RP to a knockout king.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
He had to have known for a while.
Yeah, he was sick for a long time. Remember, he was supposed to fight for the belt, and he never did because he got sick a while back. After that Bellator fight, he knocked out that guy with a comeback knockout, and then he was supposed to fight for the belt, and then he dropped out because of a sickness.
So he knew.
Yeah. He just didn't tell the world. He didn't want nobody to look at him different.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I get it for sure. You don't want people taking sympathy and being all, like, sad for you when it's like, you know.
Yeah.
You want to just keep living.
He just looked back at his career like he was like a super nice dude. Like even in ring reviews, everything he did was like showing appreciation to people. It was just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a really good career too. He fought a lot of he fought a lot of really good guys. He missed weight a lot. I mean, I don't know if my man should have ever fought 170. Not to disrespect a dead man at all. I mean,
yeah, he had some crazy weight cuts. He did have some crazy weight cuts.
He made it a couple times, and when he made 170,
he was looking rough.
It was terrifying. He was like the Francis. I saw somebody say this. He was like the first kind of like Francis, like big, super athletic. That you were like, what the hell is this? Like, I thought he looked better when he went up in weight class. Honestly,
he fought at 205. And he made 170. Man, listen, I don't know if I've never seen.
That's insane. And he cut to 205.
Yeah, he actually cut. Yeah, that is crazy. I think he walked around.
They talk about him walking around at like 240.
Yep. That's a crazy weight cut. That's next level.
Damn, bro, you holding the phone with a cotton glove? You good there? You all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We go ahead and jump right into it. I don't know do y'all want to start with the main event or y'all want to start backwards and move towards the main event?
Oh no, we can't start with the main event. We got to start backwards.
Let's start with like the first fight in the main card, which is like
Brian Spann, Dominic Reyes.
Yeah.
Reyes.
Bro, did you hear after that fight? He said he's never trained for a fight before.
Yeah, Brian Spann. I don't.
I was like,
huh?
That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, it can't be. Like
he trained with
he was the LFA champ.
Fortis MMA. He used to train down there.
Like, never trained for an MMA fight. Now guys been going out and saying wild ass shit.
When he said,
he's like, "What'd you change?" He's like, "I trained actually for this fight." I was like,
I know where he trained. He trained with the Fortis guys. And
I mean, what he probably because he trained like a professional. You know what I mean? Like he probably up until this point in his career, he was probably still just like doing group classes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't doing no like. See, he should have elaborated because I think people took that as like you ain't been training and you finally trained for this fight.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
he
yeah,
probably
yeah.
train like a champ, train like a
Just
actual
shows
like
up to fight.
professional athlete, train like a professional.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh
But
no,
I
I'm
think,
trying this MMA thing.
yeah, that's what he made it sound like. Yeah, I just came out there and I was doing good. I figured I was
I'm in
training.
the UFC now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should try.
But I think what's the name is done for.
Dominic Reyes.
Yeah,
It was so
Dude.
weird. His downfall is weird.
it is weird because he fought the best in the world, gave him one of the best fights he ever. A lot of people think he won, and then after that, it's just.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he won
Yeah,
personally.
people
But
thought he won on busted knees, and I mean, he's just never looked the same.
he hasn't.
Never looked the
And
same.
he's been getting finished. Like, I don't think the John Jones fight is what changed him. I think that next one is what changed him against the Polish Power. I think that's the one
Yeah.
that changed him. When he got his nose broken and stuff.
Was
like
that one right after the John Jones fight?
Was it?
I don't remember.
No, I think he fought. No, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't he fight Walker too before?
I haven't really paid attention to him. It keeps telling me that its recording is messing up. Am I messing up?
No,
it's
not
recording.
for me.
I'm just gonna keep pressing cancel then. I don't know. It just keeps telling me it's fucking up. But yeah, I don't know. I think his career, he needs to really take a break. Take a big long break and let his brain recover. You know,
Yeah,
if, I don't know. For me, after that loss and the way he got knocked out and the previous losses that he had, I mean, if I was his coach, I'd be like, hey man, let's take 6 months off. Like, let's not spar hard. Hey, if you want to train, let's train. That's great. That's awesome. But like, you can't keep getting starched like that.
because he's getting starched every time.
Yeah, he's getting Cody Garbrandt like that, where it's just like every time it's a knockout loss.
It can't be healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
And then him, like, he was an undefeated fighter at first, so on top of getting knocked out, so like it's hurting him physically and like his like emotionally it's hurting him too. Like, 'cause he went from an undefeated fighter to now he's on a losing streak. Like,
well, yeah, and especially since he's not like a money fighter, so it's not like he can also just be like, well, it's okay. They're still going to just call me for money fights. No, they're not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, his contract could be on the line. You're right.
For real.
Yeah, that was a barn burner opening.
Yeah, I'm happy for Ryan Spann though. I kind of like watched him come up from the Contender Series and stuff like that. I figured he would be pretty good.
Man, I've been watching Ryan Spann since well, I've been watching since LFA back in the day. Yeah. I mean, true. LFC.
Yeah. I didn't watch him in LFC. I watched his last like 3 fights in LFA before he went to the Contender Series.
Yeah.
I watched him. I watched Niels. I watched what's his name? Big Mouth. He fought Hazmat last fight.
I'm really bad with the names.
The Kung Fu guy. He from Dallas. Kevin Holland, yeah.
Kevin Holland.
I watched his last fight, yeah. They were all training in Dallas, so I watched all those guys come up. But yeah, that was just devastating. And then if you move up past that fight, that kind of happened exactly what we said. Like, we didn't want that to happen to
Frankie
Edgar,
yeah.
But I think he knew as well as we knew that was probably gonna be the outcome.
And I don't know. I watched an interview with him today where he was just kind of like, "That was a winnable fight." And I was like, "Yeah, it was a winnable fight, but like, it wasn't a realistic winnable fight in my opinion." I think it was more skewed to Gutierrez. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if you back in your younger career trying to fight for a title, then yeah, that's a good fight to take.
And tell me he didn't look worse at 35. He looked drained. He didn't look healthy, boy. His head looked.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think he stand a chance in that fight. I don't.
Yeah, wow, that was his opinion. Hey, dog, I'll kill you. Get down. I'm in the middle of this. I got a fucking discipline. The dog's trying to eat my. Hey, I'm gonna kick your ass. Don't you eat my. Hey, I got these little mac and cheese bites.
Mm.
Back up, dog. Looking at me like,
Good.
I'll just fuck on live. I don't care. I'll put a dog down right here on this podcast.
Hey, they said they go to heaven. They said all dogs go to heaven, so you gotta know. But yeah, like
Yeah, that
I
fight
kinda,
went
like,
exactly.
going off what you said last time when we was talking about the predictions and breakdown, I just think they should have gave him a better fight. You know what I'm saying? Not like an easy fight, but somebody who
For his
Like another-
retirement, like, and
yes,
he's gonna retire. He's not like a ha-ha retirement. Yeah.
yeah. And he's not a haha retirement. You can tell that was
Sarah.
definitely his last fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel bad for him. I wish he would have had a better fight to exit on, but because his
Who was
last
after
three
that?
been tough competition. He fought Brian Ortega, got hit with that knee. I mean that
Gutierrez.
uppercut. He fought somebody
It'd be
else and got
interesting who
knocked out.
Gutierrez gets next.
Who does Gutierrez get next?
Maybe Pedro Munoz.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one.
I,
Pedro, that's a good one.
I don't know. After the last performance, I think, yeah, that's a good fight. But I mean, he looked pretty solid. He looked good.
Yeah, definitely.
Has he broken the top 10 yet?
I don't know if he's ranked.
No, I don't think he's ranked.
I think Pedro would be.
That was a big win for him, bro. That was that was
even
a
though
coming out.
everybody kind of knew the outcome, but it was still a big win because that's a legend.
Man, I don't think everybody knew the outcome. I think I talked to a lot of people. Like I was talking to my dad. My dad is what Dad, if you ever watch this, love you. Nothing but love, boss. But he is the barometer for casual fan. I mean, like, he's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. He loves sports. He knows sports. He dives in depth, and he knows MMA better than most, I would say. But what's pertinent to him is pertinent to casual fans because he gets his information from, like, ESPN and, like, just, you know what I mean? Like, basic sports media. And he's not engrossed in MMA like we are on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And, so, like, I always kind of use his barometer, like, whatever his, you know, if he says something or if he's, like, knowing, if he knows of somebody or if he's heard of somebody or whatever. And basically he was like, who is this kid who beat Frankie Edgar, you know? Like, I've never even heard of this guy. So, I mean, that was a coming out show. And now my dad does know. And then he looked him up and he was like, oh, man, he was on a 6-fight winning streak, da-da-da-da. And I was just kind of laughing. I was like, yeah, that's a coming out fight for him. Like, he's going to be he'll be bigger numbers now if he can get another 1 or 2 wins under his belt.
And that's true. Like, I'll be having to do that sometimes too because that's like two totally different perspectives. Like, coming from somebody like us who train it every day and then casuals. Like, you literally have to kind of hear what the casuals are saying because some stuff just be outrageous, but it's really how they think. Like, because they don't understand. Like I was having an argument today with some people on, like, Instagram. Not an argument, just kind of like we was discussing. They were trying to say that Pereira was a better fighter than Israel Adesanya. I was like, no, he's not a better fighter. He just has God-given power in a chin. You know, without that, he loses 3 out of 3.
Yeah. He's got.
If I had to teach a style of fighting, I would teach Israel's over, Alex's, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, when God sprinkles the warrior dust out, you want to take a fucking sniff of his, man.
Yeah.
You want some. Yeah. You want a little bit of that left hook from nowhere, and a little bit of that. His chin. You know what I was most surprised by, though?
Recovery, like his chin and resilience is crazy.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me though, as much as the lack of game planning from. I don't feel like Izzy did anything other than just be like, I'm just better than you now. It's like, no, dude, you guys should actually game plan for that left hook.
Yeah.
Like, you have you had no game plan.
Yeah.
That's what Ian was saying earlier.
Yeah,
he was actually reaching towards him with the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was almost like I saw an interview with him today again where he said, even if he's not the champ, I'll fight him. And, I can beat him and I'm just better than him. I mean, you saw that fight. I'm better than him. Yeah. I saw him knock you out for the second time. You're not better than him. I don't know why you think that like your thing is better than him. Like you got to do a different thing. At least in the exchanges when you know he's going to push forward and throw a 3, which, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like it was champ hubris, maybe. Like he just really thought like, man, I'm that much better. And like I've improved that much and he's not going to be able to translate. But striking. And I mean, like, I figured he would have more. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I figured he would have more game plan, not just I'm gonna do the same thing, just better. But if you look at some of the greatest champions of all time, that's kind of their run. Like Anderson, GSP, Fedor, like they do something really, really, really well. But if you have like the counter card to them, they can't really. You know what I mean? Like they've just had so much success as a champion. They could have adapted if they weren't the champion. If they were on the rise up, they would adapt. But because it's title defense 5+, it's like I'm just doing what I know works because it's working.
Hey, you speaking facts right now. That and the examples was perfect. Like I didn't even think of it that way. Like, yeah, that's facts. Like he did come in thinking I'm just gonna he did it. I'm better than you. I'm gonna outdo you, but if you can't finish him, you're not gonna beat him, Israel. You gotta understand that because he carries that power through 5 rounds. And you are elusive, don't get me wrong, but it's not too many people in the world that can go 5 rounds without getting hit at all. Like you've shown that you don't react well to getting clean punches landed from him on you. Like
and bro, Glover with the hype up.
Yeah. That was like, bro, I looked at a clip from my last one. I said it was gonna be exactly. I said the only way he wins if it's gonna be exactly like the Usman.
Last minute, you did. Yeah, you did.
And he gave him he gave him a motivational speech and everything. Like, and did y'all see that Alex was like, "I'm prepared to kill." Like, bro, why are you jockeying on Israel stuff, bro? Like, come on.
Yes.
Hey, you could tell he came just for Israel. Like he had that plan. Like
I saw something funny today. Hey, I saw something funny today. I had to look it up. I was like, "Is this real?" It said Pereira retires, saying they only came to MMA to take the championship away from Izzy.
If he do that, Israel will be hurt for the rest of his life.
Bro, I went to Twitter. I don't even have Twitter. I like got on Twitter. I like checked. I was like, "What the fuck?" Reddit had me fucked up.
I seen this one that was like, if Izzy retires and starts golfing, they had Alex in a golf suit.
Yeah, they had Pereira in a golf suit.
Bro, hey, I'm still telling you, I was a little worried after I saw the press conference. I told y'all this the other day. I saw the press conference, and he looked over. Izzy looked at him, and he was like, "Oh," he looked away. And he didn't look away like, "Oh, you know, fuck him," whatever. He looked away like, "Don't make eye contact with the devil."
Alex looked crazy. I ain't gonna lie. He looked crazy.
Yeah.
So,
he
but
did.
I'm just like, Israel don't have, like, the only way Israel beat, well, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because the way it happens, like, it's kind of like, if I was Israel, I would be thinking the same way he thought, because the fight he got knocked out, he rocked Alex and the referee gave him a long count to save him. Mm-hmm. This fight, he rocked him again and he was saved by the bell. It's like everything saving him from getting finished by Izzy. And it's like, then next thing you know, he come back, resilience, and just, it's because Izzy, once he does that, his killer instinct don't last long. Like he lands sharp shots, but it's like, you're not coming to finish fights. You coming to outclass people. And like I said, you can't go all 5 rounds with somebody with that much power without getting caught clean eventually. Like, if he don't change his game plan and actually come out and be more aggressive, but that could lead him to get knocked out again. But I feel like that's the only way to beat him, because it's like, unless you be perfect for 5 rounds, he lose that fight again. Oh, no. Wait, we got to move on to the next. We kind of got into that one a little too much. Then we got the Chandler Poirier fight, which was a banger. That was a banger.
Oh man, that was my favorite fight. I was hyped up. I was watching it on my phone in a bar. Hype.
Bro, Chandler bring the fight every time. Like that, like it's no way around it. He don't be winning, but he is entertaining.
Yeah,
he's very entertaining. He bring the fight, and it's just ugly to me though. It's just ugly to me though. Like his style is so ugly. Like
Bro, he threw like 4. There was a part in the first round where he threw 4 body kicks like in a row. Just
just over and over.
Yeah, it was insane.
And the way he hopped forward with his punches is just like, it's not good.
Well, his face was showing it. That was for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dustin put them things on him. What he telling me? If he come out fighting, I'm gonna clean him up. He said,
Hey, here's the thing though. The fight went exactly how I thought. Chandler wants a war.
Yep.
I mean, Dustin thrives in a war, and he he knew Chandler was bringing a war. He even said in the cage, he was like, "Man, I'm a little afraid of you. Like you're a little crazy. Like I knew you were just coming. You know what I mean?" And that's in my opinion, that's like the Vitor Belfort effect. Like you know you're gonna have to finish this guy because he's coming.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know, man. I feel like that might be kind of like just a tie in what you just said though, but I do feel like that's kind of how the weakness of Izzy. Like he knew like he's not gonna keep coming. Like I can bully him. You know what I mean? It was like whereas Dustin was like, man, I'm probably not gonna be able to bully this motherfucker, so it's gonna be a scrap. And they had some scrambles on the ground, boy. Hey, he made a statement to Islam. He was like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep my black belt, bitch."
Damn, but you said that. You said you feel like Dustin's ground takedown defense was gonna hold up. You said that.
Yeah, he's a good grappler.
Piece him up, defend takedowns, and get back on the feet and steady peak. Like, and that's basically how it went.
Yeah.
I didn't see him getting choked out at the end though. I didn't see that. But.
See, a lot of people forget, like they sleep on the fact that Dustin like really came up under Tim Credor, and Tim is, albeit turned into a jiu-jitsu guy, was like pretty much like a sprawl and brawl scrapper from the Louis. I mean, he was like one of the first guys from that area that was kind of like able to keep it standing. And like, I mean, not from that area because obviously I'm not familiar with that area during that time, but that made it to the national scene. That is, and so he's always had a good ground defense, good ground game. Ironically enough, I don't know if you remember the cage that we had in the gym, but Dustin Poirier fought in that cage 4 times for I can't remember the name of it. It was like USA MMA or something like that out of Louisiana. They had like 100 shows in that fucking cage.
That's insane.
Yeah, that was the first 2 fights per peak were in that cage as well. So a lot of guys fought in that cage. There's a lot of other guys from the area that fought in that cage. But regardless, yeah, I think a lot of people forget that. They forget that he's a black belt, like a legit black belt. And when people like Islam or guys like that, he's trying to build himself up, you know.
Yeah, talking about he right though. Some of these guys shouldn't be black belts. He is right about that though.
Yeah.
But Dustin, I think he has good ground game. I just think the wrestling of like when he went against Habib, it looked like that because the wrestling pressure of Habib.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
Yeah. And Khabib's obviously a different level. I mean, you know, he's in the GOAT status. And I love Dustin, but he's, you know, and to clarify, I'll never be in this realm. So we're talking about something above my pay grade, but he's going to be one of the all-time great kind of like journeyman or gatekeeper. Yeah.
He's definitely a gatekeeper. He's definitely a gatekeeper. Yeah. I can see that.
I saw something cool. It's like it said he's never lost twice though, which is crazy. Like all the monsters he's fought, like just
because he actually good. Like he's really good. He is really good.
Yeah.
He's willing to engage. He's willing to get into a firefight, which is the reason he gets caught.
Yeah.
You know?
Like he thrives there. I like Dustin's style, to be honest.
To me, I don't know. I feel like he's what's his name? A Cowboy Cerrone kind of guy. You know, where he's like, oh, I'll fight anybody. Like I'm not afraid. I'll fight anybody. Now he's not fighting like twice a month and, you know, driving his RV there crazy style. But you know, I think of him like that, like a top tier, you know, gatekeeper. Like if you're gonna be a champ, you're gonna have to beat one of these guys.
Yeah.
And not to be rude, but like I don't think that's what Frankie will be remembered as. If that, you know, like he was a good champ, but he had his up and then he had his down, right? And that was kind of it. The only guy that like had like a weird transitional period where he was both has been Jose Aldo. Where Aldo went from like all-time great, like greatest of all time, to like kind of like mid-level gatekeeper to like back to possibly greatest of all time.
Title contention again.
He definitely one of the greatest.
Yeah,
of all
he
time.
beat Rob Font for like 5 rounds, and I thought he was going to get the title again.
Yeah.
He one of the greatest for sure. But I think standing up on the feet, I don't think nobody in that division beats Dustin.
Excuse me.
It's got to be a wrestler.
I don't think so.
It's got to be a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next for Poirier? You think it'll be title shot, or I think he actually had a good point in his press conference. He wanted to fight Beneil.
I think it'd be cool if him and Charles have a rematch.
Yeah, that would be cool too. Because Charles can fight. I think definitely drop him this time.
Like a fight night main event or something like that.
That'd be a fight in an app.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight right there. I think Beneil beats him. I think Beneil takes him down and tries to submit him.
I had to go look at some. I had to go look back at some. I agree with you. I had to go back and look at some films because I was like, man, I was riding the Beneil train here, and I don't really not. I'm laced into this train, and I hadn't really looked into it too deep. But I'm gonna have to agree with you.
High level. Especially on the ground.
He's a dark horse.
He's a dark horse for sure because he can strike too. I think him and Islam would be a really good fight. Good fight. It's just that it just is Islam that dominant as Habib. If he is, then I don't know anybody that's gonna beat him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he is, but opinions are like assholes. So
I think he shows shades of it against some people. Then sometimes it's just like a lot of scrambles and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's just like Styles may fight type of deal with him.
Yeah.
He's big. That's for sure.
He is big. I didn't think he was that big.
Speaking of big, how little did Izzy look? Looked like 2 different weight classes.
Yeah. Look like light heavyweight versus the middleweight.
Yeah. And Izzy
I saw a photo of him bigger than Reyes.
I think that was Photoshop.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, because some pictures I've been seeing is crazy. Like they had him next to like.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was Reyes. No,
they said something,
but skinny. He like
night of the fight.
You said what?
Ian, what'd you say?
He showed up to the fight 215 pounds.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
How many pounds is that putting back on?
That's what on his
30 pounds.
Instagram story. That's what it showed him on a scale.
I saw that.
Yeah.
What's that? 30 pounds?
Yeah, 30 pounds right there.
Dang. I'll be putting back on like 20, and I'll be eating good to do that. Like he putting on 30.
Yeah.
That means he's cutting 30.
Yeah, I know. He didn't figure out his cut because I don't know.
He had to cut weight for like an extra hour.
Bro, he looked like he was dying. They said he had like 5 minutes to get on the scale.
Yeah.
He was like.
So, I want to talk about that too, though, whenever we get there. Okay, now we'll move on. That was the best fight of the night, the Poirier and Chandler fight to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, most exciting for sure.
Most exciting for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got the Whaley and the Carla fight.
The
I told you.
You did.
I told you.
You said he would.
Did you say? And did I hear correctly that Esparza was the favorite?
Was she?
No, right?
No,
she was the underdog.
She was the underdog.
I
think
okay. I was like, yeah, I misheard that. But I was like, Whaley by anything she wants. My wife and I were watching at the bar. And she's like, who's going to win? I was like, man, I want the American chick to win because, like, fuck China. But on some real shit, this Chinese girl is about to do whatever the fuck she wants to her.
Yeah, Esparza felt one punch from Weili, and she's like,
She was
"Oh, I'm
like,
fighting a dude."
she was like,
what's going on?
Yeah, she started having she was like scared to even engage.
Do you know how
yeah,
strong
I
you
would.
gotta be to finish the fight with that choke that she finished it with? It was like no hooks in, just laying on her side, like
I'm just gonna
all on.
squeeze your head until you tap.
She was,
Yeah, hey, that was that Khabib Connor pull. Like, I'm gonna pop
Yeah.
your fucking
Yep.
jaw,
Make a choice. Do you want your head?
dude. I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That woman's not clean.
Oh, no way.
I don't
How
care
are you
how
built
much she
like that?
tests clean.
How is she built like that? Like it's no
She's-
one. Like,
Dude. People are like, oh, she works out hard. When anybody says that to me, I go, look me in my eyes, you fuck. I work out every single day of my life. I do all the things. I take
know how
all the
hard
things
it is?
other than steroids. And you know, it's never happened. Me just get jacked to shit. And they're like, oh, genetics and all this kind of shit. Oh, well, guess what? My grandfather was a fucking Jack Diesel Italian bear who fucking boxed at West Point. I got uncles and, you know, people in my family who've played rugby and all kinds of. It's in my blood. I got big people in my blood. I'm just the tiny one. Fuck you. They're using steroids. It's like Nate
Do you
Diaz
know how
said.
hard it is to get a physique
Everybody.
like her? As a man, do you know how hard it is to get a physique like her?
Yeah.
Yeah, 37 years old. I'm out here trying to get that shit.
Like, bruh, she is like more cut up than most men. A lot of men.
Yeah.
Bro.
Like
She's
it's
got
obvious.
fucking lats like men on trend I see at the
Yeah.
gym.
Yep. And then the fact that she's
Or
so
lat
fast
strap.
and flexible with that, like you could tell she's not just in the weight room all day every day. She's not a bodybuilder, but she's shaped like a bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't lift though. That's the funny thing about like Chinese fighters and like not Oriental. That's fucking racist. Fucking most of the Asian countries you know, you can't be saying that. I'm gonna get all y'all canceled. Like, I don't care if they can cancel me. Fuck you. Internet's not real. Like, I'm just talking to myself at this point. But like Asian countries in general, like it's not been for the last like maybe 5-10 years. And I might be speaking out my ass. Might have been last 15 years. But I know that when I was coming up, they just didn't really. And I met some guys from over there. They're like, oh yeah, we don't lift. Like, we don't really believe in like lifting for fighting.
Yeah.
Like, we just
We
fight
just
and
juice.
run. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, here's the thing. You got to think about this. Like, what a propaganda tool. Remember, the Chinese government doesn't let an opportunity slide without like manipulating its own people or trying to influence other people.
Yeah.
And she's the world champion of the biggest fighting thing based in America. If you don't think that they are literally just like, fucking,
Yeah.
come on.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
They got
China
fucking,
behind you got
they're creating shit for her.
in a
They got
lab.
a lab where a guy's like, what do they not test for? And they're like, this. And he's like, bam, there's your testosterone. We put this ether on it. Fucking, you're probably going to die when you're 36.
Bro, some of the
But
smartest people in the world are in China.
Yeah.
They can do that shit.
conspiracy theories out that ass. I'm on that Nate Diaz shit. They all on steroids.
They all on steroids. I'm the only one that's clean in this motherfucker.
Yeah, as he's smoking them, he's like smoking a blunt. He's like,
Yeah. I'm the only one that's clean.
I'm clean. Hey, I don't care what anybody says too. Weed's an enhancement because you're just chilling. You're hanging. You can get rid of your nerves.
It puts you.
If
it
you
puts
took
you
weed
in
away
your
from the
most-
Diaz brothers, they couldn't fight.
Yep. Facts. Because you know people say like you fight better when you relaxed. That's what it relaxes you.
Yeah, it
Like-
makes Diaz be like, yeah, I can beat Francis.
How you think he
Yeah,
fought?
like,
He said, you know, the world was moving so slow. He was so high in his last fight. He seen the time. He like, how you think he popped that triangle? So he looked at the time. He's like, oh, now it's time. Everything is going slow. What's his area code? What was it? What did he finish the fight? He finished at 305, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything was just moving slow for him. He was high out of his mind. I don't even think they test him for weed no more at all.
I don't think they test any fighters anymore.
They don't test any.
Nah.
Or does it depend where they're fighting at?
Probably.
I mean, if they test in if they're fighting in Texas, I know they still get tested because the Texas Commission does. Larry knows. Larry knows. Boy, we're in the back of that last fight, like,
I was about to say, Coach, just go out, just leave.
hey, late notice, don't judge a man. I'm out here in Arkansas. We medical. I got ADB.
Yeah. We putting out of stops. We are not getting.
I got glaucoma.
Gonna making up shit.
No, but yeah, it does depend on the state. And like, yeah, I think that, but I think the reality is like, for me, a lot of it should just be more regulated in terms of like, let's just be real about testosterone amounts, that it's different in every person. So it's hard to test for people. And so you need to just get a baseline of what this person's at and then look at what they maintain. You know what I mean? If it's dropping, if it's coming all over the place, a normal person's levels stay the same. So if your levels are going all over the place, it's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, what health issues do you have? Like, do we need to talk to a doctor or like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways to do it better than they do, and they just do it the way they do because it's just like easier to make the public think that it's a job's being done. When in reality, like guys like Connor are never being tested because he just every time he wants to not be in the fighter pool, he just retires.
Yep. Retire, go on a cycle, get off the fight.
Yep.
That's probably what Henry did.
Henry Cejudo.
Yeah. Just recover his body from wrestling. Now he's coming back.
Hey, people don't understand fighting beat you up.
Yeah.
Especially fighting at the highest level like that. That beat you up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I guess we can go ahead and move into the main event. We kind of already touched on it a little bit.
Oh, we already know what happened there.
So
I feel like we should talk about the stoppage because, like, I want to hear what y'all think about that. Like, do y'all think it was early or do y'all think it was fine?
I think it was okay. I think it was early, but I didn't see fights stop like that before. Let me say that. I do think it was early for it to be a championship fight, him to be up, and considering the referee was the same referee who reffed the Gaslam Israel fight, and Gaslam got dropped like 4 or 5 times and he didn't stop it. But if you look at it, I mean, he was hurt, he was still moving, defending. But I've seen fight like look at the last Derek Lewis fight, the way that one was stopped. Like when you're going to get somebody who's known to have power, the referee sees it different, than what we do. Like they maybe he's hurt worse than what he is because this
they're always about to get blasted. I better stop this.
Yeah, but to me, I think Izzy could have. I want to see if he could have recovered because he was still moving his head. All it took was one circle to get him off the cage.
Yeah,
and then survive, and he win that fight. But he didn't give him the chance to get off the cage. He got rocked once in that fight, and it was then. He got rocked once, and he didn't give him a chance to recover.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like a lot of pressure on the ref. Like he's right there. He's not thinking about like whether it's our favorite fighter or not. He just like probably didn't want Izzy to get blasted right there. But I feel like it was early too.
Yeah, I mean, I think in retrospect, it's always easy to second guess a finish. I think you have to be in the moment and you have to see. It's hard to see what the referee sees. I mean, again, going back and watching interviews again this week and today, it's whatever. People are like, oh, Izzy was even like, oh, I was looking, I had my eyes up. When I was watching in the moment, I thought he was fucked up. It didn't look as good as it has in replays. I mean, honestly, watching a replay, you're like, oh shit, yeah, he didn't land any of those. Okay, yeah, he was moving. And I think that's just one of the things that happens. It's kind of like, I remember when instant replay was implemented for football. Like, I'm that old. I remember before there was no instant replay. And then there was instant replay and you were like, oh shit, that wasn't a touchdown. Or, oh shit, that wasn't a kick. And now you had video proof of it. And that's kind of what we've always had in MMA, so it's easy to second guess the referees. And like I was telling this to Larry, I think a lot of people also misinterpret what the role of the referee truly is, like from the referee's position. Like, of course, from a sport position, he's there to enforce the rules and to make sure that like everything's like on the up and the up. But like most referees, like on a personal level, are like very passionate about the sport and really care about the athletes. Like, Rocky, how he feels about you, if you, and that's just one referee that, but almost all referees are like that. Cause to do something like that, you're not going to be compensated. You think fighters aren't compensated? Well, get your fucking mind right. The referees are not compensated for shit until they become somebody. All right. Now, those guys are probably getting paid pretty well now, but you have to have a passion for the game. And so I think he just is concerned about the health and safety of the fighter. I think that really was his number one concern. And I think that's why Izzy wasn't mad at him. He's like, come on, man, you got to give me a chance. But it's like,
I mean, it's crazy because I don't blame the referee for that either. Like you said, the replay, when I was watching it live, because I know I've done that before, like if I lose track of somebody, my head goes down, but I can still see from the neck down, and I still see. But I was also looking at when they played the replays where the referee was standing. If I was standing where the referee was, all those shots landed. Like, like he was at an angle where every one of those shots looked like they landed. And think about how fast that fight was going. When you look at the replay, they slow it down and you can see him missing. In live action, he only missed by a hair every time. It wasn't like they were just big misses. So it's like when you looking from where the referee was standing, it looked like he landed every shot. I went back and I looked at that too. I can't even blame the referee for it. It was a good stoppage. It was a good stoppage, but an early stoppage. If you look at the replay, it was an early stoppage.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm always of the opinion that, I'm sorry, man, I just feel like no matter what, the champ needs to get finished.
That's me too.
That's me too. Like, I'm not saying we got to let him get Frankie Edgar, but like, we got to let him get close, dog. Like, this is for legacy. This is way bigger than like an Emmy title. This is
like when you're the champion of the world, you have to be able to fight through adversity. Being able to, because when you're the champion of the world, you're fighting the best guys in the world.
Well, like,
somebody's gonna get hurt.
Here's the thing. So in boxing matches, right? In boxing matches, we got guys going down twice a round for 3 rounds, coming back, winning. And I sent both of you guys a video. Kelly Pavlak in a barn burner with Taylor gets dropped in the second round, gets rocked on, looking like he might die. And then later in the fight comes back and knocks him out. And I mean, Izzy didn't even go down. So there is the argument there, right? I think a lot of times, like you said, the angle of view, and nobody likes to admit this. Nobody likes to admit this, but both of you have been in the ring. And I've been in a ring that has a lot of people as well. The crowd influences you. When people are like, everything's getting super fucking intense.
Because Potan is known to have that knockout power. So you like.
So the referee's just like, oh shit, he might get, and he just, and I don't know that happened. I don't, but I think it's almost impossible to be in front of that many thousands of people who are freaking the fuck out and not be kind of also freaking the fuck out. Because I'm sitting there on my phone, like, freaking the fuck out.
Is he gonna finish him? I was hoping the referee didn't stop it. I'm like, don't stop it. Let him go. Let him get put out. Yeah. But Izzy was moving, and it's just like it looked like he did get caught with the last shot. The one he got hit right before the referee stopped in. He did
that one short 3. Oh,
bro, it's beautiful, and I don't know how he generates that much power with that 3. Like that's God given. It is like
it's his build, bro. Look how
the way he built. Yep, it's the way he built. That go into his stance and everything, like the way he.
And then I mean, I don't know if you've ever been with somebody who's just got like tendon strength, but it's obvious that he's just got like, I don't know. There's one of the guys that I trained with, and I mean, didn't have the greatest run in the UFC, but when I'm telling you tendon strength, Colton Smith was one of the strongest grapplers that I have ever. I mean, to this day, still, I don't care who anybody said. Like, go grapple Colton Smith. Have fun with that shit. Like his tension, and like it's not a muscular strength. It's like hard to explain. I don't know how to. Yves Edwards had the same thing. Like, he was muscular, bigger than me. I mean, he's walking around like 195, 55. He's a big fucking dude. But it's just I don't know, the tendon strength. It's hard to explain. Like, it's like when somebody frames and like you can't move their joints. Like normally you're like, oh, I'll just attack his knee. And his knee's just like flexing. And you're like, what the fuck is going on with your knee?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
His body's designed to throw a left hook.
Yes. You could tell the way this is basically the way he built for real. Like, because he got that little bounce to it. And like, that's the same way he throw that hook, like right off that little bounce that he threw. I'm like, bro, like.
Yeah, as soon as he landed, Izzy tried to grab him and just completely missed. So like, Izzy was
got
definitely
hit a couple
really
more
hurt.
times too. Now, if we being real, Izzy got touched up and fell and touched the ground. When he got back up from touching the ground, that's when he started weaving the punches.
Mm-hmm.
So like the referee saw that whole sequence. Like he got hit with that hook, then he tried to reach. He got hit with an uppercut, and then he got hit with another. I think it was another 2 or uppercut, something like that. Then he fell and touched the ground, then got back up, and then started weaving punches.
Yeah,
but
Izzy said he was trying to say like it was his leg that was hurt. I'm like, bro.
What he say? My what do you call it? The nerve, my peroneal nerve.
He's like, I swear, why would I lie? I have no reason to lie. I wasn't hurt.
I get what he said. It probably did happen. Like you get kicked, bro. I'm telling you, feel stuff. The kicks, you feel them. Like,
but him getting almost knocked out had to have something to do with him falling over.
No, him getting hit with that uppercut and stuff and that hook. That's the reason he fell and touched the ground.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He was dazed.
Yeah.
He was dazed. But I just think the referee knows Israel up 3-1. Poton coming out to try to finish him. Yeah. All Izzy got to do is survive. Let him survive. Let him survive until he can't. You know, like I done seen a lot.
He's not even thinking like that though.
I done seen a lot of people take a lot of damage, and the referee let it keep going. Like look at you can name so many fights. You can name so many, but you also can name so many fights that stopped early too. You can, but if you look at the Brian Ortega, Max Holloway fight, Brian Ortega took some damage. You look at the Israel Gastelum fight. Gastelum took some damage. You can look at a lot of different fights, but anyway,
it's almost like humans are imperfect. I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, ironic. No, but
it's almost like the situation dictates the. I mean, I don't know. We talk about this all the time in the back, and you hear me tell you all the time, all the fighters, but it's so real, which is like there's moments.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And like that whole fight, there was a couple moments, and Izzy couldn't capitalize. Like you said, that's why he wants to fight him. It's because he's gotten to the I've said this before too. I've gotten to the top of the mountain. Right? I took Dan Ige down and I was like, oh shit. I'm about to put work in. I'm on top of Dan Ige. And all of a sudden he's standing up, he's pushing my chin up, he's hitting me, I'm going for a heel hook, and then I'm waking up. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you can get to the top of the mountain and be like, oh no, I could do it. You know, I could do it. And I just, I feel like that's where he's at. Like he's like
definitely moments. It's definitely moments. Because
he's losing those moments because like Pereira, he wants it more, bro. Like he wants those moments more. I'm not saying he wants to win more. I'm not saying he's training more. I'm not saying that he's tougher. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying in the moment, right there, in that moment, he wants that moment more. And he took that moment from him.
He won't take and that's what happened. He won't lose. He won't accept losing.
No. And that's really the definition of a great fighter and a great champion. So it'll be really interesting to see how he goes moving forward. I mean, I think stylistically, he really was just kind of like, he's like
built to beat Izzy.
Yeah,
I don't see him doing so great against other guys. Like,
I feel like everybody's taken down. To be honest,
that was the next topic I was going to ask. In that division, like me and Ian was talking about it before we left the gym today. He brought up Robert Whittaker. I brought up Vittori. I think guys like this beat Alex.
Robert Whittaker, in my opinion, I don't see him. I don't see him having too much of a problem with him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're a pressure fighter and you're willing to wrestle, you're not going to have a problem with him because he's just going to walk into fucking takedowns.
Yeah.
Like,
And a lot of people try to compare him and Israel. But
if
that's
Izzy, I
completely
mean, like,
different.
if Izzy
has
could have actually
takedown
pulled off what he
defense.
said he was trying to do,
Mm.
What was he trying to do?
yeah, but also Izzy's not though. I mean, if you watch that fight, the 4th and 5th round, he literally just like Terminator marches at him. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't. There was no footwork. He was like, "Go for a takedown." Like, I know you're not going to go for a takedown because I know you want to knock me out.
Yeah.
Like, that was the kind of fight he had. You know what I mean? Like,
And Izzy,
but if they're smart, they don't let him touch a wrestler. He just stays away from wrestlers. Like,
most
why?
definitely.
I mean,
But
that's
he
what they
the
did on his
champion.
come up in the UFC, though. You
He
know?
the champion, though. He really can't stay away from him. You know, all the guys except Izzy are wrestlers. You got Brunson, you got Whitaker, you got Vittori. Like, they would probably have to have him fight Cannonier. That would probably be his best bet.
Cannonier's probably still going to shoot, though.
Yep. It just Izzy. He made these guys not look like wrestlers because his footwork is so good and his takedown defense is so good.
Mm.
Alex don't have any of that. He don't have the footwork and he don't have the takedown defense.
Yeah.
So it's just like he a champion.
Hey, he's gonna come out fucking underhook.
What you say? Spamming
Spam A.
spamming flying knees.
Yeah.
He did that at the beginning of the Izzy fight. He threw a jump kick, almost landed it.
Oh, he did come out with that flying kung fu kick at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, question: Do y'all think that? Oh, I wait till you come back. But yeah, I think Whitaker and Vittori beats him.
Yeah.
I think in order to give him a reign at champion, they should just have him fight Izzy again.
Yeah, have him fight Izzy like twice more or something.
But that's the question: Do y'all think Izzy should have a rematch, or do y'all think they should let him fight somebody else?
I think you let him rematch and let the
I think
middleweight
he
division
rematches.
build
I
up.
mean, he was enough of a defending champion. I think he's earned that.
Most definitely. But people
Especially
try to bring
with how
up the
the fight
record of
ended.
just them two. People try to bring up, instead of his legacy in the UFC, they bring up that Alex has beat him 3 times already.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
It's a different
In
sport, though.
kickboxing, so it's like it's different.
It's a different sport. I mean, does it matter? For sure, it matters. But does it matter in the UFC? No, I don't think it matters in the UFC.
The storyline, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I think it brings more drama to the storyline.
I do too. I actually think it was a money thing, good money move anyway. Because
Izzy wins. The third one is a fucking blockbuster.
Bummer, because people are really behind Alex for real. Like, he got his fan base is growing. Like, people are really rooting for him. But like you brought up the other on our last show, you said that if Israel would have won this fight, who else is there? Like, it would have made the division like kind of killed the middleweight division. By Alex winning, it kind of did bring life back to the middleweight division. Now everybody's looking like,
they
we
could
got
churn some guys up to the top.
Yep. I want to see Whitaker fight him, to be honest. I want to see Whitaker. I want to see a rematch. I do. But I kind of want him to fight some other people before that. I mean,
yeah.
Because if he come back, that's true. If he come back and beat Alex, then they're gonna fight a third time.
I think Whitaker's fighting Paulo Costa February.
He is fighting Paulo Costa.
I think he's gonna put work on Paulo Costa, to be honest.
Paulo Costa, a big dude.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that though, but Paulo Costa is just big. So he's very timid in the cage, but
oh my baby,
that secret juice. Yeah. So that's what y'all see next, the rematch between him and Izzy.
Yeah, most likely.
You see Hazmat call him out?
That's a good fight for Hazmat.
Hazmat destroyed him in his first belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Pereira beating him.
It don't make sense as far as does Hazmat deserve it, but no. I mean, I feel like Hazmat would dominate him.
I think Izzy a good fight for him. If you ask me, I think he beat Izzy too.
I mean, Pereira took Adesanya down, which is insane.
I'm like, Hazmat coming for the takedown and you know it. Like, and he's really good at it. I think he take Israel down and maul him. I like Israel, but man, he ain't really want to get somebody who's that high level of a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can say these other guys. I mean, Whitaker is a wrestler, but he focuses a lot on his striking. Vittori, I don't know what he is. He's like a little troll.
None of them are as aggressive as Hazmat.
Huh?
None of them are as aggressive as Hazmat.
Yeah, not at all.
He's just gonna run at you and take you down. Like,
who else in the middle?
Yeah, he's not getting into like tactical fights. He's going out there and like being violent. Like there's a difference. Like there's guys that go out there and fight, and there's guys who just get like violent and like you know, like being violent can just be super effective when it's calculated through technique. So I think that he can be a problem, especially that's why wrestling weaponized that way, like in that like kind of kamikaze style, like wildness, you know, like Michael Chandler. Like that's it's hard to deal with. I mean, you can take a lower level of wrestling and take it to a higher level if you do that.
Yeah.
If you have a high level of wrestling, now you're a real fucking problem because even when you do that, you're avoiding strikes. So it's different than being like a brawler who's just looking like for big shots, because a wrestler's naturally going to be trying to avoid those shots on the way in. So yeah, he's a problem for anybody for sure who doesn't have a high level of wrestling. Like he'll be guys he has no business beating in a cage if they had to stand, because he doesn't have to stand. Like
and that's why I really think that Gilbert Burns fight was really good for him, because at first he was trying to do it off pure violence, no calculation, just all violence. And Gilbert Burns gave him a reality check, like you gonna have to use some technique against me. Like people try to say he just beat the mess out of Gilbert Burns, but Gilbert Burns could have won that fight. That was a real close
arguably he won that fight. A lot of
I thought he won. I went back and watched it. I kind of thought he won.
Oh, let's not get into that. But I mean, gonna bring your shot.
I just don't like when commentators be like he just destroyed Gilbert Burns. I'm like, no, he didn't. Like Gilbert Burns put in work in that fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, that changed his perspective. And he should go to 185. He really should, because he's not.
Yeah, if he's barely making 170, 185 needs to be his new home.
So that would change that division drastically. And then you got Darren Till coming up. I wonder how he gonna come back. I don't like Darren Till's style. Hopefully it's changed since he's been training over there. But what he brought to the table in the past, I don't like it. Like it's not. I don't think it's that good.
It's because he's a Muay Thai fighter, and just Muay Thai doesn't always do the best MMA. I feel
he don't even throw a lot of Muay Thai kicks. He don't.
But I'm saying like that's what he started in, you know, like Thai fighter. But
that guy's
hard to change your base.
Yeah,
that's not for me.
He definitely got the base. So. Who else is another middleweight that's coming up that could potentially?
I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, middleweight division kind of.
I know a lot more welterweights.
Yeah,
middleweight
division kind of one of the more boring. But yeah, I mean, I want to see that rematch, and because I do think Izzy was beating him up the whole fight, and the same thing happened. To be honest, this history repeated itself.
Yep,
and
it did. Smaller gloves.
In the smaller gloves, he hurt him and still lost in the end. I know that hurt Izzy. He handled it like a true champ, but man, listen, I know you feel that. But for the most part, UFC 281 was a banger card. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Nah, it was a really good card. I really enjoyed it. It was one of the better matched main event cards in a while.
Yep. And I mean, it was some shocking results, some shocking wins, some expected wins. But hey, we'll see what they bring in the future. I know we got I know Derek Lewis fighting this weekend. We could probably, talk about that a little bit this Friday. I have to look over that card and see who all on it.
Nobody, but
nobody probably, yeah. But we'll probably talk about that. Huh?
Who's he fighting?
Some guy. He fights some dude like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna look into it probably tomorrow. We'll probably talk about it, but then we'll probably talk about some other stuff Friday. Kind of cover some different topics and stuff like that.
You know what we're gonna do? One of these days we're gonna talk about one of your opponents, one of you guys' opponents. We're gonna talk shit. We're gonna
And then we're
we
gonna
can't
at
announce.
them.
Well, we might be. Oh hell yeah, we might be able to announce Larry's here in a couple days, but
Yeah.
I still got to. I confirmed it. It's confirmed. It's happening, but I don't know that it's registered with the state yet. You can't announce things till it's registered with the state. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag there, but got some. I don't know. I think that's an interesting breakdown.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do. I think it's good. I do. I think
I feel like sometimes I feel like Sugar Sean's like his boy is like his hype boy. I feel like that with you sometimes, where I'm just like, y'all don't understand. I'm like, he's just got next level.
That Tim Welch guy.
Yeah.
He's
Hold
just
on,
the
sorry,
greatest
dog
thing. I love Izzy.
He's the fastest man alive. Y'all don't understand. He looks like this, but he brings so much power, man. It's amazing to see every day. I never thought we would have been this far. Bro, he be hyping Sean O'Malley, boy.
He's like, I don't think people understand how good Sean O'Malley is. And we're like, bro, I think
I feel his power every day.
Well, he makes Sean O'Malley like he just got so much more in the bag, bro. Like
he makes me feel his power. Like, oh, man, keep that between the two of you, okay?
Man. Yeah. But yeah, I think we should get on here and talk about Ian got a fight coming up. Although
I don't know if you know, but his kid pulled out.
Yeah. I thought he got another one, right?
I found one. We got a couple. Yeah. If we don't take that one, then we're gonna take a week later in Oklahoma. Go beat up a Sooner.
You going to the peak fights in January?
Yeah. I'm gonna get Marcus a fight on it. If not, I'm gonna try to harass him into letting me announce.
Yeah. He knows
we'll see how that goes.
He know who the best ring announcer is.
He knows. He trying to play like he don't have the money for it. I'm like, don't fuck.
Come on, Johnny, stop playing.
Hey, give me a bottle. Hey, I need a bottle of Crown Royal, a hotel room, and some gas money. Come on, let's go.
What was it? That Whistle Pig?
Hey, dang it. Hey, he buys me some Whistle Pig. We got a deal. That shit was fire.
Nah, for real.
That was oh my goodness. Hey, and we drank way too much of it. And then for some reason, like 6 hours later, I just sobered up and was like, all right, we're driving home.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy trip, to be honest.
Drove home in the middle of the night, like, fuck it, let's just go home.
And was up the whole time like this.
That was when Larry was like, oh shit, coach is crazy. He's fucking absolutely crazy.
It was like 3 a.m. He was like, no, it was like 4 a.m. He was like, you know what? If we go to sleep right now, we're gonna wake up late. Come on, let's just go right now. I was like, okay, let's go then. But we stopped at the gas station, got some energy drinks, and pew to the house.
Sleep is for the weak. We'll sleep when we die. Hey, I'm gonna jump off. I gotta not be too loud. The kids got school and whatnot. I'm sitting here by my front door.
So. Okay, well, for y'all who tuning in and for y'all to see this in the future, my boy Ian right here got a fight coming up December 10th. Y'all can go follow him at IanHibbs.5 and see what he's doing. He putting in work every day, so go check my boy out.
Hey, I'll hit you up later.
We're gonna hop off of here, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. All right, Coach. All right, Ian. Y'all have a good night.
Later.
Oh.
All right.
I think that was a good show.